Here I am in the development of the first movement of the Schumann. I just played this on a concert Steinway, and this sounds and feels different from my home piano and different from the D. Now, I want this distinct, but really easy. These restarts that seem to be the most important. In other words, if this is under my hand, it's quite straightforward. Grabbing hold of these feelings. If I'm guided by the key, it's E flat minor. It gets to E flat minor there, but I have that tilted chord to begin with. So A flat minor. Wicked problems with the page turn. It's totally disorienting for me, the page turn. And I trust that with a real page turner, not me, it'll be easier. Okay, so these kinds of transitions I'm going to have to take care of. So, I've got to let go. I've got to reorient myself. I need more of those transition practices. Say, I'm feeling very comfortable right now, and I didn't feel comfortable before. So a different version of me showed up. I want this version of me who says, okay, I have to tell myself about the left-hand C, because page turning I'll probably never get to actually play. And practice that relationship, the B flat to C, but if I'm busy turning pages, so all of that needs to be familiar to me. So or 5-4-2, or thought about that, because my lack of indication is no help to me. In places like this, when it goes to a black note, it's certainly 5-4-1. Here, let's see. 5-4-2-1. I hope I'm not asking for trouble. Because the turning over of the hand gives me that octave so sublimely. Try to turn my hand over. I don't want to go up. I want to go down. So. Square. Okay, let me back up a bit. These pairs. Squared. Let me go to D flat-ish. That sense of arriving at familiar. I want this minor section to be like that. So this is transition. And then the hands together and then stability. So. Here comes the turn. Note, I didn't need that. Turn. Does this relate to anything we've done down here? It doesn't have to. So it's like C sharp, B flat. Okay. I don't know if this will help, but I'm going to write C sharp, B flat, F sharp, and E flat. C sharp, I'll put them in parentheses just so I know they're representative of hand groups. So let's see if that helps. E flat, F sharp, and D flat. B flat, F sharp. It actually, I think, helps. B flat. Because all of the tilts and things tilts on B flat. I know that it squares off on a C sharp or F sharp or whatever. Okay, let me approach. Two on G, two low Gs, two Cs. And since we're in C, well, no, that doesn't help. In C minor, it doesn't tell me. The G doesn't tell me that other than as a dominant. B flat, F sharp. Alright, E flat. That really, writing an harmonic equivalent or giving a label to those chords is very useful. This is the re-beginning. It doesn't have the same demand. Here I am, nice and white noted. Turn. Well, I'm not. Well, quite frankly, I didn't look, so I have no guarantee. And look, B flat, and look, and look. Okay, I'm going to go back. Feel the kind of stability I might have with a page turner. It does make a difference. Of course, I didn't have complete success here. Like F sharp. Well, I was already thinking in that mode. I think F sharp. Think F sharp. And then the surprise here, it's not a reiterated chord. It's diminished chord. White note, at least the octave is there. I can't be surprised by this score. I'm trying to turn early. What I might do, sorry, I'm a little off camera. What I just thought I might do is to print out from my MSLP or something like that the page, or in some other fashion duplicate that. I can do that at home later on, so that I practice without having a page turn as an issue at all. Where you think, hold on a second, this isn't difficult, or this is familiar. So when you're on the other side of the familiarity, you look back and you say, this is my friend. So I have to reach friendship with material. And of course, none of these intervening material can provide extra emotional frenzy. G flat minor, I have to feel a sense of ease. And again, get used to what the page confronts me with. You know, I think I will take a brief break and see if I can print this out.